Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Ask Coach Marie. I'm Marie O'Neill, founder of Padma Life Coaching and your host on this series. This is the place where you ask a question and I give my unique opinion as a life renewal coach, astrologer, and past life regression facilitator. Please know that I'm not a therapist and I will never tell you what you must do. Each week on Fridays, a new video is released with me answering 2 questions from the viewers. In addition to these questions, I talk about various other life renewal topics. Welcome, everyone. Happy New Year. This is a number 9 year, and that is determined by adding up the digits of 2025, 2 plus 2 plus 5, which equal 9. And what does 9 mean? 9 is the number of completion. So we're in a year of completing a cycle. And oh, what a cycle we have had. That cycle began with year number 1 and it ends with year number 9. So 2026, we start a brand new cycle. And each cycle builds on the previous cycle. So let's get to the questions for this week. The first question that we have comes from Evan, who is in Syracuse, New York. Evan writes, I've been thinking about how to turn my bird watching passion into a career. Do you have any ideas? Oh my goodness, that is a wonderful question, Evan. Thank you for asking it. And I love birds myself. I don't have any. Really good friend of mine who has birds, so I know hers. And I also love going out and seeing birds in nature. They are messengers from the universe. They're constantly bringing us wonderful messages and we pay attention to them. If you are looking to have a career as a birder, there's a lot of options available to you. I actually Googled this to make sure that I was giving you the correct information. So there's a lot of information out here on how to turn birding into a career. Number 1, you can offer tours to people, other people who are interested in birds. You can put together trips in whether it be in this country or in other countries where you take people on a journey and they would actually love learning about the birds from someone who is passionate about it because you're passionate. That will come through. That's one of the things you can do. Another thing is being a veterinarian. There are avian vets which are in high demand. Most vets, or at least what I understand, they specialize in dogs, cats, not birds. And that means that the people who have birds have difficulty finding qualified people who are passionate about taking care of birds. And my friend who has birds, she's had issues with finding a vet for decades. So you can always be a vet if you're interested in that. You can work for a conservationist, a conservation organization. These organizations, of course, protect birds and protect them, especially if they're on the endangered species list. But they also go out and look at birds and take counts and basically care for them. Another thing that you can do is being an ecologist. That's a career that I see birders can do. You can be a photographer of bird life. And I see those pictures all the time on my screensaver on my computer. You see them in offices where bird pictures are there. There's a lot of different options available to you. You want to narrow, of course, the list down to what you're skilled in. Do you like being around other people? Do you like taking care of animal or birds? That sort of thing. But let me know what you decide. And I am just thrilled that you want to turn this into a job, into a career. Because if you can do what you love, that is the most important thing. I do believe we all receive more than we give. when we actually do what it is we love. All right, let's talk about a topic that is quite volatile. And it's the topic of God. All of us, anybody listening to this video is aware that wars have been fought and are continuing to be fought over people's belief system with God. I personally think it's wrong to do so because every person, every country, every religion, no matter what it is, it has its own viewpoint, and it's okay. I mean, I don't believe that we should push our belief system off on someone else. What is God? Who is God? Why is God? These are questions that I've actually contemplated over the years. I grew up in a tradition or a religion where God was hellfire and damnation and follow the rules or you are going to be punished. Well, I never believed that. And in the years since, I believe I'm right. So I actually don't use the term God, and I don't use it because it is a volatile term and it can cause a lot of arguments, which I try to avoid if I can. Now, whomever you call this energy doesn't matter. I don't believe it matters to that energy either. That energy is not a human being. I mean, we say we're made in God's image. Well, okay, that's saying that that energy is human, and I say that energy can manifest in any form that it chooses to. It is consciousness, it is awareness, it is all-knowing, it is omnipresent, meaning it is an energy that is all-knowing and all-seeing, and it is everything. It is non-judgmental, absolutely non-judgmental. There are laws of the universe that we have to follow as humans, such as the law of right human relations, the law of cause and effect, the law of karma. These particular laws, they are universal. It doesn't matter which religion you practice or don't practice. It really doesn't even matter if you practice any type of religion or spirituality. If you look at the laws of the universe and you live based on those laws, that doesn't mean that you won't have pain either. It just means that you will lead a more balanced life and hopefully get to the ultimate goal, which is enlightenment. And what is enlightenment? Well, that is really seeing reality as it actually is. And it is actually empty. That doesn't mean that there isn't appearance, because we appear as humans. I wanted to just touch on that particular hot topic. Send me an email or comment below. If you want to continue the conversation, I am happy to do so. All right, our second question comes from Juan, who is in Corpus Christi, Texas. Juan writes, I keep hearing people talk about work-life balance, and I think it's a crock of manure. There is no such thing. What is your point of view? That's a good question. Thank you for asking it. And I actually do not believe it's a crock of manure. I believe it does exist, and it is important. When you want productivity or to be productive, it's much better if you have a work-life balance. And that just means that you're not working 24 hours a day or even 18 hours a day, day in and day out. That doesn't mean that you don't work hard or that you don't work overtime when it is necessary. At the same time, you have to balance that with downtime so that you have time to sleep, so that you have time to nourish yourself with good food and see family and see friends, because this is going to take care of your emotional well-being. We have our body, our minds, and our emotion. And all of those three make up who we are. And all three need to be in balance. If one is out of balance, the other one is out of balance. If you are wanting to be productive, because most jobs are concerned with productivity of employees. And even if you work for yourself, you want to be productive. And as I said, that doesn't mean that you don't work hard. It means that you balance it so that you can make decisions easier. How many times have you been sitting at your computer writing an email or working on a report and you've been exhausted? When you do that, yes, there are times when you do need to do that, but you also know that it's going to take you longer to get that work done because you're tired and you're exhausted. You're better off putting it away and taking a rest, even if it's just for an hour, and coming back to it at a later time. So yes, work-life balance really does exist. It is important. And I ask you to continue contemplating work-life balance and talk to other people about it. And I'm really glad that you asked me about it. I don't know if you like the answer, but anyway, it is my answer. So that is it for this week. I thank you. I thank everyone here who stops by the channel and watches the videos. I want to wish all of you a happy new year. And I will, in one of the upcoming videos, talk about Chinese New Year, which is coming up at the end of the month. I love Chinese New Year. I'll talk about that at a later time. If you would like to learn more about me and how I became a life coach and an astrologer, please check out my book, And the Lotus Opened, a memoir. You can find the memoir through any of the online bookstores, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, Walmart, AEp6sk. Go to one of those online bookstores to get a copy of it. It is in ebook and also in print copy. If you would like to learn more about the services that I offer, please go to the website, padmalifecoaching.com. I have information there on how I work with people. You're welcome to send me an email through the website or sign up for a session with me. All right. Please send your questions to padmacoach@icloud.com if you have questions that you'd like me to answer for you here on my YouTube channel. I will see you back here next week, and I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful week ahead. Bye-bye.